Radio 8.
Here comes!
Hey, run that thing up.
Radio 8.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the first ever Grade A Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Musa. I'm here with my guy, Mike, today, man. How you doing, Mike? It's Royal Rumble Day.
No, sir, I'm doing good. No bullshit. I don't think I fell asleep until 3:30, 4 o'clock because I was just watching the Rumble matches on the YouTube live on the WWE channel, so I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, man, this was long awaited, man. We've been cooking this up for a little while now. I think it was the perfect time to do it now with Raw being on Netflix. Everything moving in the upward trajectory for the WWE, AEW, even TNA. So I think this was the perfect time to start the podcast, man. We got a few people missing, but it's all right. We're going to get right into the show. This week's episode, we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble, of course. That's later on tonight. We're going to give our predictions. We got some trivia we're going to go through. And then we're going to just talk about post-match what we think is going to be the main storylines going into Wrestlemania this season. So, Mike, we're going to first talk about the Rumble predictions. We're going to start with the first match. The Women's Royal Rumble will be opening up the show tonight. I'll let you hear your thoughts on who you think is going to be winning this match and who you think could be the Final Four.
Well, I'll just throw this out there real quick. These are the talent that's confirmed to be in it so far. We got Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Zelina Vega, Candice LeRae, and Piper Niven. And there's also NXT talent that is in Indianapolis that might be in there, including Jada Parker, Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez. And also for the Legends, where the Legends at that I got right here. Yeah, Victoria's going to be there too, so we can see her make an appearance for the women. But personally, myself, I want to see Io Sky win if she's personally myself, because I know a lot of people throw out Bianca, but I was going to say Bianca Rhea, if I remember correctly, we saw that about a year and a half ago, but unfortunately I feel like it's going to be Charlotte Flair, and we're going to get her versus Tiffany, which sort of sucks seeing she's just coming back and she's going to get the title match so quick, but I'm pulling for Io personally myself.
Yeah, man. Real quick, could you mention some of the legends that's going to be potential at the show and in the match? Someone I want to see in this match that I feel like it's going to be, I think AJ Lee makes a return tonight.
Yep.
There's been a lot of conversations with CM Punk interviews prior up to this weekend show, and I think some of his answers and giveaways, I feel like AJ is going to make a surprise entrance. I think some of the Bellatons might be in the show as well. I won't be surprised to see Mickie James. One name that I think is obviously going to be in the show that's not confirmed is Jordynne Grace. She just signed with WWE. I think this is a perfect way to bring her back into the fold with the bigger audience and putting her in the Rumble. You mentioned Roxanne Perez. I think this will be her first official main roster match.
She was in the Rumble last year.
She was, but considering that she's going to be full-time on the main roster now and not with NXT, I think this is going to be her first official main roster match. I know she was in the past, but she ended up going back to NXT, which is what she kind of keyed in on. So I think she's going to be in the Rumble. I think it's going to start a feud and build up more actually on the feud with her and Bayley. I agree. I think Charlotte's going to win the Rumble for the women's. I don't want her to win the Rumble because I feel like her and Tiffy going into the Mania match can do without her winning that Royal Rumble. Someone I would like to see win it. I'm not that mad at Io, but I'm kind of torn. I don't want to see Bayley repeat because there's no point. I don't think she's gonna win the title at Mania if she was to go against Rhea. I would love Bianca to win, but the problem with that is also I don't know where their storyline is gonna be with Jade coming back. I think Jade might come back tonight also. And I don't know what direction creative is going to go with whether having Bianca turn heel or is it going to be Naomi. Clearly, we know Jade's probably going to be the face unless they do something where the hit on her was fixed and her and Naomi turn on Bianca. That's a long shot. But overall, I probably will lean with Bianca winning the Rumble. It'll be nice to see actually Roxanne Perez win it just to kind of build up a new young face for the women's division. But my money will be going on Bianca. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Bailey will get it though, personally, because she just had the title shot. What was it, a week or two ago on SmackDown before she jumped ship to Raw, and then her and Roxanne got the triple threat coming up at Vengeance Day. Two other names I forgot to mention. I know you mentioned Mickey James. Becky Lynch is also going to be in town tonight, so we could see her make her return.
Shout out to our boy Ty. Ty couldn't get on just now, but Ty thinks Becky is going to return tonight. Is asking if she's returning tonight. Yes, she is reported to return. I don't think she wins though because I think they're gonna build a feud with her and Lyra Valkyria.
I agree.
Kind of pick up that mid card women's title, and if anyone can help build up a mid card title for the women, it's Becky. So I think that's where that goes, and it kind of gives something for Lyra to do because she's kind of like it's been stale. So
what sucks about that though is we just had when Becky won the NXT Championship. What was it, a year ago? Probably at this point, maybe a year and some change, year and a half. We already saw that program if you were watching NXT, so it sort of sucks that we'd have to see it to get leading up to Mania. But I know seeing it's in developmental in NXT that they really don't consider it a program, seeing it's not on the main roster. So, but that's the direction they go, and I ain't gonna be mad. One other name too that I forgot to mention is Alexa Bliss. Don't think she's gonna be back tonight, seeing contract disputes. That's according to Meltzer. So do with that what you will based on his accuracy on reporting recently, but I think if they do Charlotte Flair, you just can't do it tonight. You got to have her win the chamber. Give her some wins to get back. Just don't literally give it to her when she gets back, because we saw that with Cody. 2 years ago, I believe it was. He was out injured after the Rollins Hell in a Cell. Comes back, nothing automatically. Everyone knew he was going to win. He won the Rumble. Obviously, Vince in the previous administration was supposedly in the background at that point, but we know now that they were still booking the show. So I don't need to see that again personally. I would like to see someone who's been there constantly on the roster get it for the women.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Chris. He couldn't make it on today's show, but he sent me a text regarding his predictions. He thinks we haven't touched on it yet, but for the men's Rumble, he believes it's going to be Cena or Drew. For the women's Rumble, he thinks Charlotte's going to win. He also has Motor City Machine Guns winning back the tag titles, and he thinks Cody's going to beat Kevin Owens in the ladder match, which we'll touch on those in just a moment. But back to what you were saying, Mike. Yeah, I kind of agree with everything you pointed out. I think the problem I have with creative with WWE right now is Triple H is really good with the main event hitters, and then everything else kind of falls by the wayside, or like it's been mid. And then Shawn on NXT, he's great with the mid card, but then the main event's kind of like been mid. So I think this will be a great time to kind of build a fresh face, which is why I would love to see a Roxanne Perez win it. I know she won't, but someone else I could think of, why not Jordan Grace? If you want to build someone up and put them in the spot right away, Grace and Ripley at Mania can sell tickets. We're talking about two powerhouse type women, both freakishly athletic. And if people aren't familiar with Jordan Grace's work from TNA, she can go. Like, she can go in that ring. And I think, considering where Raw's women division is at, they need a spark somewhere. And I think SmackDown women division has been pretty good for the most part around the catering of the same women. Where now that Jax is probably going to go to Raw, but Jax, Tiffy, Bianca, Bailey, they kind of kept that core nucleus really good, solid on SmackDown. Now that Bailey's going to Raw, we're most likely going to get Charlotte going to SmackDown, especially with Andrade being there. So I think Raw is missing that another key piece, and I think bringing Jordan over there will be a big spark. And I'm interested to see how they can book a heel Jordan Grace, because we know they're not going to turn Rhea heel again. So she will be a face going into the match if they was to go with the Jordan Grace route and winning the Rumble. Turning Jordan Grace heel, I mean, who says no to that? It is something that we haven't really seen in TNA, if I can remember. So I would love to see that. That's one of my one-offs if I was to go and choose for that match.
Yeah. One sleep or two. Don't sleep on Nia Jax not winning tonight. I assume she doesn't, since she just won Queen of the Ring, but we really didn't get a rematch between her and Tiffany Stratton after Tiffany cashed in, and they still see Candace saying she's going to win, which obviously we know. I can't see that happening. But
speaking of Candace, man, like Candace, I get it. You got her in a role where you could just get her on TV, and that's great. But give her something else to sink her teeth in. Like Candace, that's the problem. They have a lot of talent. They're not utilizing all of them correctly. I think Candace will be a great person you could build up in the mid card. And that's how they used to do it when when I was watching like the Ruthless Aggression. A lot of the talent that was in the mid card, once they established themselves, they was able to catapult into the main event card talent. And that's something that they haven't really done recently with the women's division too much.
She's still a Speed champion? I haven't watched Speed in a minute, but I know she was at one point.
I'll be lying to you if I sit here and tell you I watch Speed. I don't follow none of that. I don't. That's to me that's a low down version of Velocity. And if real wrestler fans, if you know, you know. I'm showing my age talking about Velocity and set it in heat. But that's how I see it. But yeah, I would love to see Jordan Grace get that nod. I would love to see Dakota Kai get a good run in the Rumble. I don't think she's gonna win, obviously, but just to get a good showing would be really good for her. I think she deserves some recognition. Michin is someone else I would love to see get a decent run in time in that Rumble match. Honestly, someone that I really wanted to talk about more, but it's no point. She's in the same situation as Bianca. Liv Morgan, I would love to see Liv win the Rumble, considering everything she was able to do this year, and then to cap it off with a Rumble win. But who is she going to face that's going to be believable for her to win? We're tired of seeing her and Rhea, so that's not going to happen. So she's going to have to go face Tiffy, and they're not going to have Tiffy lose at Mania to Liv this soon. That's after already giving her the belt. So that's someone I didn't mention was her. Down the line, I'd love to see Raquel turn on Liv, or vice versa. I'm just this way of how they're trying to present Raquel as a heel is so trash to me. Go back to her NXT days when she ran heel with Dakota Kai. That's when she was at her best. I'm not really bought in on this Raquel Rodriguez kind of heel that they got with Judgment Day. And can they give her back her original name? I think Raquel Gonzalez was better.
So. I think Cole called her that by accident on the Rumble 2 years ago when it was in her hometown there in Texas. But my guess is they're going to go this direction with Liv and Raquel. I got a pin over Bianca Belair and Naomi on, I believe it was Raw this past Monday, which usually doesn't go well for winning the titles. But if Jade comes back, I don't know. It looks like Naomi was the attacker. Could be Bayley. We don't know. But if it even could be Bianca. But if they turn both of them heel, and if they don't turn both of them heel, I should say, they got to get the tag belts off of them. So that's the only tag team I can see going that way. And there's going to be some program between them. And let's say Naomi gets Jade Cargill at Mania. You could see Bianca Belair go after Jordan Grace because she eliminated her in the Rumble last year. So maybe they picked that up again this year, possibly. And now one note, too, on Michin, too. I know you said possibly for her, but my guess is after the disqualification last night for the U.S. Women's title match, my guess is she's going to get a rematch of that coming up in the near future, seeing Chelsea hit her with the kendo stick.
Absolutely. Speaking of tag teams division and women's division, you just made me think about Unholy Union. This isn't a frustrating. I'm just really sad at what they've been doing with Alba Fire. Like, I think it's disrespectful. Like, she's in the depths of Shinsuke territory after an NXT run. For her to be what she was at NXT UK, damn near as dominant as Gunther was, to come over and have the type of treatment she's got as far as creative-wise goes, I don't like it at all. I think it's disrespectful. She could have easily already been one of the top faces in the division for either Raw or SmackDown, and I think she would have been a great heel to do it. But as a tag team, I still think they're a good tag team. I just think they need to give them more TV time where they can legitimize these tag teams. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter should easily be the tag champions. Like, they're the best women's tag team they have as far as chemistry goes. We're also going to get one of those moments from Katana Chance in the Rumble. You know, she's going to have one of her Kofi moments that she's been doing the last few years. So I'm excited to see what they come up with creatively for that. But any last words on this Women's Rumble before we touch base on the men's?
Not really. I think we might see. I haven't heard many rumblings about, but I don't know what Asuka's status is. Too. That's another person.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to be there because she did tweet something. I think it was like last week I seen something about her not feeling safe about her safety. So I don't know if that's a shoot or is that something that's legit. So if it is legit, prayers. I hope those around her can keep her safe because that's something you don't also want to play around with. But moving on, man, we're gonna get into the men's Rumble first because we're gonna do some trivia and then bounce back to the last two matches. The men's Rumble, Mike, who you think is the winner? And just what are some outside predictions you think?
So this is something that's got me thinking. I don't know if this is gonna happen, but we look back at the when the Rumble was in Philly. I forget the year exact off my hand, where Roman Reigns, he goes up and The Rock comes in, Rusev comes back in the ring.
2015? Talk about the 2015 Rumble?
I don't remember offhand, but I know it was in Philly.
Was it when Roman won?
Yeah, when Roman won, Rock came out. Yep. So let's say Rock doesn't come out someone gets taken out, say around like 15, 20th, their entry music hit, no one comes in. Roman thinks he wins. Rock comes out to congratulate him and then tosses him over the top rope to get his match with Cody.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. And then that's how you build the Roman and Rock Mania match. That's not a bad.
That would have to be Cody because if he wins the Rumble, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how deeply they go into this, or if we see, because I don't think they're going to do Punk scene. We just saw the promo. Usually they don't want to give it away before it. But so, Randy, I should say this too. The guy who I'm predicting to win is Randy Orton. But I'd say, and this is the other direction they could go if they want to make it a triple threat.
Before you get to the other direction, I want to hear this. So Randy comes back in the Rumble, and you think Randy wins. Why is that? Because I like where you're going with this. This could lead to the Mania storyline. So I want to hear your thoughts on this.
You would have to. So it depends on the match order. I don't know the exact match order yet, but you would have to do it in a way where he plays into this main event, or I don't know if it's the main event, but the ladder match. He has to play into it somehow. He's facing one of these two dudes, whether it's KO or Cody. We don't know which way it's going to go. Right. But depending on the match order, they can play it away where he helps one of them in the match and then wins the Rumble, or he can just turn on Cody because you don't want to waste that RKO out of nowhere and just win the Rumble and set it up. So if that's before it, he turns on Cody and helps KO and then wins the Rumble. Basically, it's two things in one night, but you get the RKO that makes the crowd pop, and you get him in the Rumble, so we know he's going to choose Cody, too. That's if you wanted to do two things in one night.
Interesting. I'm not mad at that at all. And then you have your storyline for Orton and Rhodes, too, considering the legacy story they had prior when Cody first got into WWE. I mean, they've been hinting at this could potentially be in a feud since Cody came back, especially when he won the title, so that's something you can really do. And we know Cody should main event one of the nights, but if he wasn't to main event one of the nights, this wouldn't be a bad thing. You can have this go on as an offset match, like right before the main event, things like that. So I'm not mad at that at all. Any surprise entrances you think may join the men's Rumble tonight? Outside of Kasana and Isho Speed.
Some men's talent that we got there. We know RVD is going to be in town. Rhino, Tommy Dreamer, JBL, Bully Ray, Ric Flair, Mark Henry. Omos, I think, is going to be in the Rumble tonight. He's there, Came back from Japan. Both Hardy boys are there, so we'll see with that. I think you'll see Matt Cardona, possibly, definitely Joe Hendry. But we'll just see about that.
Joe Hendry. That's the only part about his song that's catchy. But I would love to see that. Would be a good way to get some more audience and fans on to TNA. It's looking like TNA's it might be the clear-cut second best company in the world for wrestling, at least in the United States, I should say.
The week-to-week television has to be better. They record too many shows. They just went live for the first time in, I believe it was 8 years last Thursday. Yeah. It was still a good episode this Thursday, but it's better than the normal tape shows, but still not up to when you go back to what's the I can't think of
action when it was on Spike.
Yeah, I can't think of the Immortal when they had the Immortal storyline going back to that time with like Abyss, Hogan,
Oh,
Bischoff. Like
I remember that. That was
that's when I got into TNA.
so. I guess since we on this down memory lane, I've been a fan of TNA since '05. Showing my age, I know. But that was right around when Jeff Hardy was bouncing back and forth from TNA and WWE. That's when he had the great matches with the Monster Ball matches with Abyss, who's now a creative writer for WWE. He produces a lot of great matches. I believe he produced the Hell in a Cell match with
Yep.
Edge and Finn a few years back, a few years ago at Mania 39. But he's been great. I remember when Robert Roode, when it was Bobby Roode, was Team Canada with Petey Williams and the crew. So I go back to then, young AJ Styles. You had Raven still there, Christian Cage, where Christian finally was getting the respect he truly deserves. And of course, we're going to call him Kurt Angle because he acts that. We're not going to call him what we all know he was dealing with around that time out of respect. But Kurt was at his peak in TNA. So yeah, a young Samoa Joe. We had the bead necklace on. Man, what? TNA was my show back then. But I'm glad that they finally getting some resurgence and starting to get back into the limelight because I think that's well deserving, and they have plenty of talent there. So, and I also want to give my praise and speedy recovery to Chris Bay. Heard he's starting to do a lot better. I can't wait to see him just fully recover and hopefully one day get back in the ring. But back to the men's rumble, I would say I'm torn with the winner, but I'm leaning towards Roman. I think Roman wins the rumble. And the reason being is this sets up the Roman Cody Punk match at Mania. Punk still gets because I don't think Punk's gonna win the Rumble, and he wants the main event Mania because he hasn't done so. I think with Roman winning, it now allows Paul to keep his word and give back that favor that he owed Punk for jumping in the War Games match back in November. And I think that favors him main event in Mania. And now we got a 3-way dance in Mania, the main event WrestleMania Sunday. I think it's a perfect way to do it. You got the story of can Cody eclipse almost a year as champion. You also have the storyline of can Roman finally get back the title and truly become the true tribal chief and the head of the table. And then you got CM Punk. He main events Mania for the first time. Can he get his wise men back? Like, there's so many storylines you can go. And then, with a triple threat, it's no DQ. So much interferences can come into play. You could build up the Rock and Roman post-Mania with that match alone, Rock costing him the match. You can probably have Rock aligning with Fatu and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. So many avenues you can go, right? And the biggest mystery, which we haven't talked about, is where Solo fits into all of this. Because Solo hasn't said nothing, hasn't done nothing since the loss on the first show of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So I'm really interested to see how he fits into all this. I'm interested if he's going to be in a Rumble tonight. So it's so many speculations. This is probably one of the most unpredictable Royal Rumble matches we had for both men and women in at least 5-6 years. So I'm excited. I'm interested to see where we're going to go with this.
Yeah. I think it's going to still be CM Punk and Seth Rollins, to be honest with you. Yeah, at Mania, because we had at the debut show on Netflix, but we didn't get really a proper storyline build up to it. And I think you could do something where maybe they eliminate each other, they both simultaneously go over. Maybe one guy's eliminated and he takes the other guy out when he's on the edge, something like that. You could even go down that. But as I didn't really mention this earlier either, but I'll mention it when we get to the ladder match, because I do, even though I said we could go this direction for Randy winning the Rumble, I want to see them go in a different direction, because we'll get to it when we get to it. But.
Absolutely. Real quick, we have we're going to participate in a Royal Rumble winners trivia. So we're going to have to, I believe we have about 5 to 6 minutes to type in all the Royal Rumble winners in WWE up to the first one up until last year's. Now with this list, I believe it's only men's because it's only men's. This one we can find one where it has both men and women, but this is just the men's ones to make it easier and more clear for us. Those watching, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that sub button if you're watching and you want to participate in the trivia. Leave a comment down below so we can type it in. Let me share my screen and we're gonna get right into it, and then we'll get back to the last two matches for the card. All right, so here it is right here, Mike. Make sure I can zoom in on that so everybody can see it. That's good. All right. When I click start quiz, you're gonna just type in names and stuff. You ready, Mike?
Yeah, where you starting now?
We could do any name. It doesn't matter.
All right, sounds good.
Let's go. First name.
I was gonna say Cody. We'll start with that because that should get a couple of them knocked out.
Perfect.
Brock.
Oh wow, they didn't give us the full name that time. I know we already mentioned it. I mentioned it earlier. So Roman, it's another one.
Edge. Batista.
By all means, help me with the spelling if I need help.
Shinsuke. I don't
you gotta tell me with this. Is it? Oh, perfect. All right.
There we go.
Oh, I got one. I'm gonna go old school because I know some folks. I know ball. Big John Stud.
Jim Duggan.
Yep, I was gonna say Hacksaw.
Yeah.
Hogan. John won twice. EILS, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Hogan. Yeah, who could forget Hogan? The Nature Boy.
Yep.
Let me see if anyone's in the comments. You can give me another name if you want. Oh, we got a name. Shout out to Stack Money Chino. Randy Orton. I believe Randy won twice, right?
I believe so.
He won twice, yeah.
I was gonna say Ray won it 1 year, right?
Rey Mysterio, yep. Yeah. Oh, Chris Benoit, 04.
Yeah. Seth won it, I believe, too.
2018, I believe it was. Yep. Let me just see if anyone else is in the comments. All right. No. Another name, 94. 94 was
Sheamus won it too.
Sheamus. Taker is another one. Triple H.
Yep.
2020. Who won 2020?
I don't think it was 2020, but Alberto Del Rio won it. What?
2011. Yeah.
11. Yeah.
That was a 40-man Rumble. God, I'm glad they didn't do that again. Oh, I forgot the O. I will say, as a kid watching it, I was happy that we had a 40-man Rumble. But
did we get Stone Cold yet?
Nope. Vince McMahon and The Rock won it, right?
I believe so. MCMAHON.
Yeah. I had to just make sure. We got a minute 20. We got essentially 3 people left. Oh no, we got 5. Oh wait. Who won 08?
Drew McIntyre won the COVID.
Drew was 2020. That's what it was. Yep. Is that how you spell it? No. I don't know how to spell his last name. Damn it. Hold on. Ty says Cena. Thank you. Cena was 08. And Stack Money Chino said Drew as well. But we got Drew. So we come back to Drew. Cena. All right. Now, who won 94? Someone help me with if someone could help me spell McIntyre, we could get that out the way now.
Try MAC.
MAC? Nah, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it's MCINTYER.
ER.
Or no, YRE.
YRE. Thank you.
There we go.
All right, we got 20 seconds left. We got 94 and 93. I'm trying to remember who won before Sean. I can't think of it. Oh man, it wasn't back to back either. It is back to back. It was a tie. I can't think of 93 and 94. They're losing me. Let's see who they were. Oh, Yokozuna.
Well, Lex Luger and Bret Hart.
That's why. Oh, that 94 Rumble was kind of forgettable. Yeah, Lex and Brett. Ty just put it in the chat, Lex. All right, that's what I knew it was losing me. I forgot Yokozuna won the Rumble. Damn, was I'm trying to think. Was that the Rumble that led to WrestleMania 9? And then we had the whole Hogan situation. With the black eye Hogan. Ty said 94 was a great Rumble. I don't know. I will say this. To be fair, Ty, I can stop sharing. 94 is a great Rumble when you compare it to 95 and 96. Because I'll be honest, 95 and 96 was horrible. British and Sean carried those Rumbles by far. Like, go back and watch those Rumbles. It's a tough watch. But, yeah, those are the winners right there. I'll say, Mike, for it to end, Ty and Chino, we appreciate the comments. But what it's worth, man, we didn't do too bad under 4 or 5 minutes. 24 to 27 ain't bad. I completely forgot about that time with Lex Luger.
The worst part is I thought about Bret Hart in my head, and I didn't say him, but I didn't know Lex Luger or Yokozuna. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Listen, I did not think of it. There was another one that I was looking at the trivias for. They were trying to have you guess the entrance. People who came out what numbers and then the final four. I was like, "Ooh, that's we're gonna say that for another day." But this was a good transition and to go back into the Rumble matches and predictions. So next we got the 2 out of 3 falls tag team match between the Motor City Machine Guns making their first PLE debut, and they're going against DIY. I think this is going to be a banger. I think this might steal the show, if I'm being honest, if they give them enough time. Because this can give you, I feel like this could give us an old version of the black and gold feel with the tag
takeover.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this match. I think DIY retains, though.
I agree.
But I'll let it hear your thoughts on how it goes. I think it's down to the final draw. Pinfall.
Yeah, I can't see them just doing squashing them and getting anyone 2-0. There's no point in having a 2-0.
If Vince was booking this, you might have seen a squash.
Well, I think if Vince was here, I don't think the Machine Guns would be in WWE. But it's good that we're finally getting some tag team wrestling on a PLE, because usually they like to merge the go home show for SmackDown or the aftermath show for Raw, and then they'll put some title matches on there. But in case of Triple H getting his boys with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano on the show tonight, I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. But I'm with you. I don't think they change hands. Why? You just had the Bloodline take them off DIY like that, and I know the Machine Guns barely. You can call it a token run to say they were champions in WWE, but they got them under contract for a while. I don't see why you can't drag this out even longer. You could put it into a tag team ladder match at WrestleMania or something like that. Like, not that stupid ass 6-pack match that we had last year. We don't need a million teams. Just these 4 guys. I think these 4 guys would tear the house down.
I actually think you could make it a 3-way. Add Street Profits into this match.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Those 4 would be nice.
I'll say this. First of all, can we get a round of applause that we finally got a tag team title match on a PLE?
Since the title.
The last time they had one was at Mania 40. Like, this is why people are not investing in the tag divisions, because they just don't take it seriously. Everything's on a weekly show. The SmackDown tag division for the males have been one of the better tag divisions we had in a while for the men's. But back to the point that you made, actually, that 6-pack match was bad, but I think they can run it back at Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Street Profits, and depending on when he could get back from injury, the Tungans, Tungaloa, and Tama Tunga. I think, because when I seen that triple threat ladder match they had on SmackDown, I said to myself, okay, you starting. I'm invested in this triangle. Now, you can build up those 4, put them in. Hell, if you don't want to put the Tungans in it, why not use Pretty Deadly? I feel like Pretty Deadly could be the next Edge and Christian in the tag team. That annoying and obnoxious tag team who finds ways to win. The pretty boys, the yes boys. Like, I see that when I picture them. Now they don't match it in the ring because they're not the same style of wrestler, but I can see them being that type of character. Hell, even Nitro and Mercury, how they used to do the slow motion. I see it, them taking bits and pieces of both of those tag teams. I love that tag team, and I think having them tie into the DIY situation is only going to help them and build them up into a longer, profitable storyline and program.
Yeah, no, for sure. I got yeah, because the only thing that I had with that 6-pack ladder match at Mania that I didn't like is get some ladders that actually like can hold their form. You have Jessica Carr yelling at Priest to swap out the ladder. R-Truth getting a ladder ready to hand to him to go in there. The whole match you need better ladders that are more sturdy. I understand you're gonna score them at points to break them on certain spots, but when you have the refs holding up the ladders on all ends and telling you to like Jessica Carr yelling at Priest to take a ladder, yeah, you need to have it more organized. That's my only pushback. It was still a good match.
Absolutely. Ty, man. Ty, if you still watching, just leave a comment down below your predictions who's gonna win the men's and women's rumble and their other cards, as well as the 2 out of 3 falls tag team match. And we're about to get into not the main event, but the WWE Championship match. And that's the ladder match. We're going to an old school Wrestlemania 10 ladder match style with the 2 belts. We got Cody versus Kevin Owens. If the tag match don't steal the show, this very well damn will take the cake. I think Cody and Kevin's gonna have a big spot in this match. You can almost book that. I don't know if it's gonna be as big as what Sammy and Cody did in their ladder match, but it's gonna be pretty damn close. I just pray no one gets hurt. It kind of derail the storyline and the program that they got running. But I think Cody wins this match. I think they're gonna have a classic. I believe this might be his best match throughout his title run. That's how hopeful and excited I am for this match, and I see how much potential this match can be. But Mike, I'll let it hear your thoughts on this match.
Unfortunately, I agree that Cody wins, but let's be honest. Cody does not need a belt for any storyline going into WrestleMania. He has made storylines with The Rock. Randy is a made storyline, and even if they want to continue this with Kevin Owens, which I don't think they will, but he really doesn't need that belt. Like, I understand they're probably going to have Sammy turn on KO, and they could probably do that for their match. Yeah, the 2 of them, which I have no desire in seeing personally. So I'd rather see KO get the title and have someone that gets the rubble get him, because that way you have a made match that has a common interest with everyone with the belt. Cody has storylines that don't need belts. Cody versus Randy sure as hell don't need a belt. Cody versus Rock definitely does not need a belt. He's got the People's Championship that he can put on the line. Like, if I got the pen, I'm taking the belt off him, bro. No bullshit.
Time out. Ain't no way in hell we about to watch motherfuckers put on excuse my language. There's no way in hell we about to watch The Rock put up a People's Champion belt.
That's saying if they needed a belt. They don't need the belt, bro. That's what I'm saying. They have one if they need one, but they don't really need it.
Oh man, that was funny. Real quick, Ty left his predictions. And if you're watching the show, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let us know who you think is going to win the women's, the men's rumble, as well as the ladder match in the 2 out of 3 falls. Ty said he has Charlotte winning. It's too obvious. I agree, unfortunately. Motor City Machine Guns winning. Cody wins. And he's torn between Punk and Cena winning the men's rumble.
Seems too obvious. They can't do that.
Here's my thing, to go back to the men's rumble. If Cena wins, I want him to fight Gunther. But the thing is, I'm torn because I want Cena to break the record. But I don't want Gunther losing either, because I feel like they done Gunther a little bit of a disservice as far as weekly story programming. Like, something's off with his reign, which I wasn't expecting it to be, considering how they was building Gunther up. His matches have been great and solid, so it's nothing with the match quality. It's kind of the same thing that they had with Cody. Like, the chase for the belt was great, but then when you got the belt, the program and the storylines hasn't been what we was expecting, but the matches have been good. That's how I feel with Gunther. So I would love to see Cena winning, but if I had to choose, I guess he has to go against Gunther because he's not beating Cody, not at this point in juncture. But someone we haven't mentioned, Mike, who can very well win this Rumble, Yeet.
I don't rule that out. I agree.
I think this could be Jay's moment. This can be the Ray, the 04. I won't say his name for those who are sensitive about it, but you know who won the 04 Rumble if you watch the trivia. I think this could be right around those lines and realms. Your biggest face of the company outside of Cody. He wins the Rumble. He goes on to face Gunther and run it back at Mania and wins it in Vegas. And then you run it back to how you had at Mania 20 when you had Eddie go in the ring in the main event for someone I won't mention. You have Roman, who probably wins the belt back. He's there to celebrate with Jay, or vice versa. Jay goes out there and celebrates with Roman. Now who's really the tribal chief? Because they both got the best belts, the biggest belts in each brand and in the company. That'll be a nice full circle moment. I don't see it happening though, because I don't see WWE trying to do that. If Jay was to win, I don't think Roman's going to be getting the belt. I think it has to be one way or the other. So, but I'll let to see Jay get that championship rub. So,
even if KO wins, have Jay versus KO, because I think if you win the Royal Rumble, you got to go for the undisputed championship. Going for the World Heavyweight Championship means we see that as a pivot someplace, and it's a cop out for it that you had planned the whole time. I don't think that you would have had planned out like that.
It also can help build up the title too.
Yeah, but the title's pretty well built up, I think, the way Seth Rollins started off with it and everything. It's more of a workhorse championship than like the prestigious title that, hey, I got to take my shot at it. I know Sheamus said on McAfee he's going to go for the IC title, but we know Sheamus ain't winning.
Do you think Sheamus finally gets that belt at Mania?
He just signed a new 5-year deal, so I don't know. They got him under contract for a while, so they might hold on to that story for a while.
They can hold off on that. I want to see Penta. And I know we're getting off track, but why not talk about some other stuff that's not going to be at the Rumble? I think Penta, who is going to be in the Rumble, and I think he's going to have a great showing, a strong showing that build up his character more. I'm signed up for him and Braun at Mania for the IC belt. I think that'll be a banger match. Whether you put it on WrestleMania Saturday or Sunday, I don't care. Just give them 15, 20 minutes, let them work. And I want to see it. I think that's a moneymaker match, especially if you're going to keep Braun on Raw and have us hold off on seeing Jacob versus Braun, because that pop they got months ago was like, it was none other. So I would see that match also. Let's talk about SmackDown. We have some interesting stuff going on SmackDown, as you mentioned. Chelsea had the candlestick spot with Michin, and that cost a no DQ. But we have some interesting promos going on. So Mike, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how SmackDown went.
I'm not gonna lie. Show started off hot and fell off a cliff real quick, but I don't know. I think they're just trying to, with the whole Punk thing, Kevin Owens. I think Punk and Kevin Owens is a feud we will get eventually, but we ain't gonna get it this soon. And I think it's like a red herring to throw us off. But I don't know. It's a better go home show than they've had in the past. But seeing they are working such a tight schedule with Raw, NXT, Saturday night's main event, all this stuff, it's still a much better go home show than they've had when they've even worked in a lighter schedule.
I also I want to know when is it going to be Carmelo's time? Because if you notice, they done strapped the Moon to Tiffy. They done damn near strapped it to Braun, and they're kind of like just pulling the cord with Carmelo. I keep standing on this. I'm gonna keep saying it. This summer, Melo's going to be Money in the Bank. I think he wins.
I was going to say, don't rule out John Cena.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying. He hasn't won a match in a while, so they got to build him up.
Listen, he don't need that. I get it. It's your farewell tour. Cool. You ain't going out like Paul Pierce. Shout out to the truth, though. No disrespect. You're going out more like Kobe and his final farewell tour. That's fine. Rightfully so. But you don't need every goddamn thing. Like, I think Carmelo Hayes with the Money in the Bank, with how obnoxious and annoying his heel character is, which I love, it's the perfect fit. It's peanut butter and jelly. Like, just, it's a perfect matchup. And I think him with that briefcase for however long you want to have him hold it, it's just going to build up the suspense for when he finally cashes in and gets his rightfully opportunity to be the main guy on whatever brand it is, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. So hopefully that's something I would like to see. Shout out to a little bit some NXT. Tavion Heights from No Quarters Catch Crew. This is a random
He was
thought.
over in Japan too.
I think he's gonna be a world champion in the future. Like, he has all the tools. The only thing left is to build up the mic work. Everything else is there. I love what I see from him. I love what I'm seeing from NXT in general. Javon Evans is a young talent on the rise as well. I just love everything they're doing with some of the main people on NXT. But TNA has been having some great matches too. I love what they're doing with Masha and Cora Jade, what they're going to build up with that program. Tessa Blanchard's obviously there. I mean, we know the backstory of her. We don't got to talk about that. As far as in-ring work goes, she's one of the best in the business. I just love everything that's going on in wrestling. AEW has its bright moments. They have some great storylines there. It's like when AEW actually know how to do a storyline, it's chef's kiss. But outside of that, it's dog water. That Tony Storm and Mariah May, I'm completely invested in that. I love what they're doing with that program. I love what they're doing. You know. That's where you start losing me. You're losing me. No. I love what I'm seeing from the Swerve storyline with Ricochet and the Hurt Syndicate. I love that.
Hold on, before we go forward with that, though, I got a problem with this. They just dropped the whole Swerve thing with the Hurt Syndicate and moved him on to Ricochet. What was up with that? They were at.
No, I was hoping they was building it up to put Ricochet into the Hurt Syndicate. That's what I was hoping they would do. The most realistic thing to do. But in typical AEW, they could still be very well, absolutely. But then typical AEW fashion, they just fumble the ball. Speaking of fumble the balls, MJF, I don't know what the hell they're doing with MJF. It seems like it's just been.
You don't like the Last Outlaw versus MJF?
I just don't get it. I don't like. How do you guys build up these people and then just let them fall by the wayside and don't have no creative direction with them? Ricky Starks, you're holding him hostage.
He's never going to be on never on AEW TV again, either one of them.
Ray Phoenix, you're holding him. Like, let these people go. Take the money for all I care. Let them go. They will be shining right now in WWE. You're telling me a Ricky Starks right now going to WWE, putting him in an NXT, he's instant main event. Instant. He might not win the first feud with Oba because Oba's over right now, but it's an instant main event at minimum. Him and Ethan Page can cook a program. Ray Phoenix, my lord, if you're already going to establish Penta as a single and then you have him go against a duo or whatever, you could bring Ray right into the mix. Boom. Tag team division is already elevated. Like, it's so much you can do. And then I'm hearing, not to bounce back and forth, Josh Alexander from TNA might be going to his WWE bound, I'm hearing. And if anyone knows, him and Ethan Page was a phenomenal tag team in TNA.
The North.
Naked. Oh, I would love to see that in NXT. What? Like, WWE is on a roll right now. TNA's on a roll. I love what I'm seeing from everyone. But Mike, any last comments and predictions for the show before we wrap up?
No, that's it. I just hope we get a major angle tonight because I've been waiting for a while. I was disappointed at Survivor Series. I was disappointed on the Netflix debut. I want something to happen. It's been the holding pattern for too long now.
For sure. But that's going to wrap up the first episode of the Grade A Wrestling Podcast. It is now 6:00 on Eastern Time for the Rumbles getting ready to begin. We'll let you guys go and watch the Rumble. We'll be back again next Saturday, same time, to go over the weekly shows as well as our results on the Rumble. We appreciate everyone that was watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on who's going to win this year's Rumble for the men and women and the other matches on the card. We'll see you guys again on the flip side, man. Everyone take care and have a safe, wonderful weekend. Peace.